Why do all judges, regardless of political affiliation, appear to be such smug degenerates who will recite lies to pretend they are following the law while doing whatever they want and helping their connected peers? Their behavior can be explained using game theory, like the prisoner's dilemma. The husband and wife did not cause their babies accidental injuries. But if they both say neither caused the injuries, they will both get the death penalty. If one says the injuries were not accidental and the other caused them, the liar gets to go home. So they both lie that the injuries were intentional, but the other caused them, and they both go to prison. There are two kinds of judges. The first kind is smug jerks who think the law doesn't matter and do what they think is justice. These are called left-wing or activist judges. They think the majority of voters will do evil or elections will be rigged by the rich. But they also think the written law is not good enough because the death penalty is legal or just because the world is unjust or imperfect. The second kind is childish idealistic fools who think the majority of local voters are more virtuous than these jerk judges and can regulate the executive branch using political speech and elections rather than due process. These are basically utopian communists. They know voters could never monitor the behavior of McDonald's managers and vote to make sure they are cooking what people want. But they imagine the same information and monitoring problems don't exist when voters are regulating government such as police. These judges are basically total dweebs and useful idiots for the executive branch, turning a blind eye to the evil nature and deeds of man. Notice neither side says the law says what executives can do, because the first kind of judge knows that would let the second side write unjust law. And the second side knows the first side would use the power of courts to force their own idea of justice on the executive branch. So they both say there should be no law regulating the executive branch. One side because they want freedom to do what is just, and the other side because they don't want the executive branch to be governed by the whims of the first side. You need courts to enforce law. But one side fears the law and the other side fears the courts. The end result is both sides try to monitor and supervise the executive branch through politics rather than courts regulating executive branch decision makers. The end result of destroying courts with lies and agendas and trying to make decisions using the collective will works no better in government than in industry.